The study of Ayurveda and the study of nutrition are two very different things. We use the word nutrition in English, and then most people will think of it as how many vitamins and minerals and what components of those, and what's an adaptogen or not, and that. And some of that information might be relevant, but from an Ayurveda perspective, most of it isn't relevant. It might give you a little bit of an idea of what's happening, but if you're not looking at the whole system, then you'll miss probably what the main cause of a problem is. And we need to look at the whole system if our goal is to bring balance, to not have symptoms, to feel well, to move beyond having to take 20 different things to try to fix something. And so this is one of the big differences between studying nutrition and studying Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a holistic system. And these days, I think people are saying that we're taking a holistic approach, but we're going to give you these individual supplements of some sort, or even taking individual herbs, because we've lost that understanding of what does it mean to be holistic. Well, what it means is that everything matters, that everything is affecting everything else. And so if I'm just putting one thing in to try to fix a symptom, the probability of having success with that is actually quite low. And what I've seen happen many times is people do that and they get some relief, but then there's something else that comes up. And because they're not making any connection between these two things, so for example, that I might have indigestion, and so I start taking a supplement that gives me some relief, or I'm taking apple cider vinegar and I get some relief. And then I have eczema come up, but I'm not making the connection between these things. So it's not only with symptoms and problems, but how much energy do you have? How is your weight? Is it something that you have to think about? Because ideally, we wouldn't have to think about managing our weight. When we're consuming and living in a holistic way, we don't need to think about it. And so that means that we have to consider everything we're putting into our five senses, and that then has an effect on our mental and emotional state, right? What I'm watching, what I'm listening to, besides what I'm putting in my mouth. So all of it makes a big difference. So this is why then the idea of diet foods or superfoods, things like rice cakes and goji berries, these are things that actually can create quite a bit of imbalance in people. And they think that they're doing something healthy. And the same thing happened when raw salads came about. Raw salads were considered to be healthy, right? And that was a commercial endeavor. It wasn't really because it was a good idea. Now, if you take a look at, I go from eating deep fried food and bacon for breakfast every morning and things like that, and I make some changes and I start having salad, I'm probably going to feel a little bit better. But it's not going to work in the long term because the holistic approach is not there. So this then brings us to that point of considering, well, what is true health? And in Ayurveda, we look at these four pillars of health, and it's our diet, our lifestyle, our sleep, the quality and quantity of it, and how we manage our energy, which of course then is related to our mental and emotional state. And we look at how all of that is working together. And when those things are well fed in a balanced way, we're able to make wise choices and to go in the direction that we'd like to go. So this difference then in studying just nutrition is something where we're sort of poking at the problem, as opposed to taking a look at the whole situation and actually resolving the problems so that we don't have to have those symptoms anymore, that we can actually see ourselves in a new light. Because one of the things that happens is that the mind gets attached to the identity of having the problem. And so we'll keep it doing that. Yeah, we are that powerful.